j2review enables us to add learning conversations and assessment to a pupil's work. We click on Pupils files, then select the class and the pupil that we want to add the work to. We hover over the piece of work and we'll see the speech bubble appear. Clicking on that, we can add a learning conversation. Here we're going to type in some text, but we could equally well record sound or use the camera. Once we've added a learning conversation, logging on as a pupil, we'll see an indication that some conversation has been added. We click on the bubble and we see the message, and again we can type or record our own reply to that. We're now going to look at how to add some progression for a piece of work. We click in the progression column for the piece of work, and you'll see that we are immediately brought into a progression framework. This is the default progression framework from Rising Stars. However, your school can add their own framework by selecting the option here. Working with the default framework here, we're first going to select the year group and then the subject. In this case we're working on writing. And then from the cells that are available, we can select for a given statement whether a pupil is working towards, meeting or exceeding the objectives. And you'll see that as we select the cells, that they light up in the orange colour to show that this pupil has met those objectives. We close down the review framework and you'll see that those objectives are highlighted next to the piece of work. We might well click on another piece of work for that pupil, and here you can see now the assessment that's already been recorded on a previous bit of work and the number of pieces of work that have had assessment recorded. And we can now add for this piece of work, perhaps they're exceeding that expectation and meeting the expectation for this statement. Finally, the j2review area allows us to run reports on any of this data that we've entered, so we can look at a class or a pupil or the entire school.